Do you have any advice to give to other parents that have autistic children of therapies that work?
Okay. Yeah. So with autism, so a lot of these kids are very overwhelmed with a lot of toxins, and a lot of them have a lot of inflammation. So I would start with foundation. So let's look at a diet. Okay. Uh, Gluten, sugar, processed foods, very, very inflammatory and very disruptive to their digestion. They can't make conjugate and make their own vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin Bs. Their hormones, converting tryptophan to serotonin and melatonin, and helping their bodies, their systems, their endocrine systems work. So number one is limit um, um, refined foods. Um, Fast foods are awful for kids. They're awful. Yeah, they want it, but it makes them so inflamed.
Yeah.
Uh, it makes them very inflamed. So I would start with that. And kids with autism, I say what has worked with me, cranial sacral therapy. If you could find someone who can give your child cranial sacral therapy and Reiki, kids respond so well to energy work. And it works at such a personal level with that as well. Um, so, yeah, I would say to do that with children with autism. Definitely foundational diet. They're very sensitive to Wi-Fi and radiation. So, you have to kind of put these, I think I got this sticker on my phone. Chew limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got a new phone. I need a new
Did
sticker.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see. I got my little sticker here to help
Yeah.
to buffer out that Wi-Fi, and we put it on all the devices and
Yeah.
computers at home and TVs and on our router. So people that have sensitivities are very sensitive. Their nervous systems are very sensitive. Will also feel a difference with that too. Um, and we're talking about Lyme. So we're talking about certifications earlier. So I received from Trinity School of Natural Health so far um, eight certifications, and I'm enrolled in a couple more right now. One is for a certified Lyme specialist. So people that have Lyme Lyme disease, which is a vector-borne, tick-borne illness, is and many go under undiagnosed, and a lot of healthcare providers are not looking for it. So um, uh, Lyme disease is known as the great imitator. So, when I say the great imitator, it shows up as different different conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia, and depression, anxiety. A one big one that comes up, especially for young ladies, is POTS, postural
Mm-hmm.
orthotic tachycardia syndrome. Sometimes that is the only symptom that shows up, and healthcare providers are kind of stunned as to where it came from. So sometimes that's the only symptom to maybe get checked for Lyme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if we could treat the root of the issue of Lyme, not 100%, but a lot of these symptoms go away. Not, and it depends on how far gone someone is, how long someone's had it, and um, yeah, yeah. So
So you had Lyme before. You were able
I
to
did.
treat yourself with homeopathic.
I did. I did. So in 2022, I was bit by a tick and I got my bullseye rash. So um, with my husband being a medical doctor, I went ahead and I took the doxycycline, the antibiotics, for 2 weeks. So after I did that, luckily I was in naturopathy school and just learning. I was in my certified clinical homeopathic specialist class, and we had just talked about Lyme disease, and I had an account with DeskBio,
Mhm.
which is a wonderful
Mhm.
homeopathic company. And I started myself on this 24-week treatment with homeopathic remedies. So I started it after I took the antibiotics. I felt good. I didn't feel tired. I felt really good. When I started on my homeopathic remedy, I became just extremely fatigued. I couldn't get up off the couch. And you know, with naturopathy, we call that a healing reaction.
Yeah.
Not bad, you know, it's part of the healing process. So, um, very extremely fatigued, a lot of brain fog because of all the die off kind of that happens with that bacteria. So after about 3 weeks, I started to get my energy back and not so tired anymore. And so there's different steps to take care of Lyme disease that you go through 10 weeks of this tincture, 10 weeks of that tincture, 10 weeks of this tincture, and also supporting you um, with the nutraceuticals as well, you know, with your shakes and your supplements and what you're eating, and making sure you're nicely detoxed before you even start. So there's like a 14-day process to do a nice detox on that to make sure your pathways of elimination are open, which are your bowls, you know, your bowel, your
Mhm.
urine, your lung, your lymphatic system, and your skin. It took me 24 weeks to go through this homeopathic treatment, and my symptoms never came back. And it's been 3 years now, and I feel very, very good. So with other people that have Lyme disease, so the standard of treatment is between 14 to 28 days of antibiotic therapy from prescribed by a medical practitioner. And then if symptoms persist beyond 4 weeks, a lot of the medical community don't recognize post-Lyme disease syndrome. They say it's not Lyme anymore. It's been 4 weeks. You know, you need to go see someone else. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see a
Mhm.
psychologist. It's all in your head.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't have enough attention. You know, you're an attractive girl. Maybe you're not getting enough attention. Maybe you need to go see a counselor. Maybe uh, you know, you're just you know, something else is wrong with you. You know, go see this person. Go see a rheumatologist. Go see. So it's not recognized. So what they really need is more treatment. So there's another group of wonderful healthcare providers called the ILADS, the International Lyme Disease, Lyme Associated
Mhm.
Disease Syndrome, ILADS. If you look on ilads.com or ILADS, just look up ILADS, and you'll find a lot of healthcare practitioners around the United States that look at a patient holistically and recognize their symptoms. So there's around the Lansing area. I looked at the website last week, and nearest to the Lansing area, the nearest registered provider is 55 miles away, and there's another one that's 75 miles away. But with me being in the Certified Lyme Specialist program, there's with the ILADS, you could join and be a medical doctor, a DO, a PA, a nurse practitioner, um, and or a naturopathic doctor. So the medical providers have the medical route where they can treat, and then the naturopathic uh, practitioners have a nice homeopathic route they can treat, and it's just as effective as the medical route. So when I am done with my certification here, I'm going to be registering with ILADS, and I think I'll be the only practitioner here in the Lansing area that will be a certified Lyme specialist. So I
Nice.
really look forward to helping these folks and listening to them and letting them know that what they're experiencing is real, you know, and I could help them get to the root of it and help them start to heal. Now, not saying that um, if they've had it for a long time, maybe not all the symptoms will go away. but some will. And it's a long process. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we'll go back and work with you um, even after this treatment is done. So, yeah.
So if someone listening to this and has Lyme, how can they find you? Do you have a website?
I do. I have so my company is Essence of Healing LLC, but my website is my last name, so it's www.kawauchiholistic.com. That's KAWAUCHIHOLISTIC.com. My phone number is 517-997-1214, and anyone can call or text this number, and I return the phone call within a few hours.
Love
Um,
that.
if someone needed to just reach me by email, also, it's Dr. Rosetta at kawauchiholistic.com. That's DRROSETTA at KAWAUCHIHOLISTIC.com. And I know that's a mouthful, but I really look forward to reaching out and working with you. And whether you reach out to me or another holistic care provider, it's as long as people are on board with holistic health and you're getting it from somewhere, from someone, everybody is going to win. So if there's someone else that resonates a little bit better with you, please go and see them, or just there's holistic practitioners here, and I think there's we can manage a lot of your symptoms and help you heal from within.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, do you mind if we talk about the endocannabinoid system? Could you share like how your journey with having autistic children and how that made you look into that, and then the education you got on that?
Okay. Yeah. So I received a certification from Trinity School of Natural Health as an endocannabinoid professional. And so the reason why I did that is I'm from the generation that didn't really think, that didn't that had preconceived notions about people that use cannabis. Okay, and I'm from that generation. And I met a nice young man that was working with one of my sons as a behavior technician, and he told me that he owned and operated a grow house for cannabis, and just a nice young guy. And I just figured, I'm not going to have my preconceived bias anymore. I had it. I grew up with it. I'm going to just learn about it. And so I took the program there, and I learned just this system was first. There's a CB1 marker. There were CB markers that was actually discovered back in the 1960s by a physician in Israel, and I'll tell you his name because I knew that was important here. Okay. And his name was Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, and he was in Israel. He discovered that in the 1960s. Okay. Um, um, and then through there in the 1980s, 1988, there was one marker found, the CB1 marker. CB means cannabinoid, the cannabinoid marker 1. And there was a cannabinoid marker 2 found in 1993. So the CB1 is located mostly in the brain and the central nervous system. The CB2 is prevalent throughout the immune system and the peripheral nervous system. So that's your whole body.
Yeah.
So that's something that overlies every system of your body. And endo means your body produces cannabinoids endogenously, within the body. So there's a receptor site for that. And if you think about when you have a system like that, you have to make sure it stays healthy. Okay. So, like if we're talking about, I love vegans, but let's talk about vegans. Um, if you're not eating an animal product, okay, you're not getting your vitamin B12. Okay. And although you can get it in forms, in plant derived forms, but they're not easily usable by your body. So if you're not getting something like that, what happens? You have anemia. Okay, so you end up having physical problems. Okay, you end up having symptoms, physical problems if you don't keep a system healthy. So with the endocannabinoid system, um, if that system isn't constantly provided cannabinoids to eat, and they're found in plants, they're found in, other than cannabis, they're found in like lavender and sage and a lot of different vegetables. But if you're not eating a lot of that, and your stomach terrain, your digestive terrain isn't completely healthy, you're not going to be absorbing that. So if you can provide that nourishment to your body and take care of it, it's going to help you with some symptoms. Like a study. There was a study done when I discovered this in 2014. There was a study that was being done in Israel for the last 20 years before that the United States funded. That we in the United States didn't really know much about it, but they were studying people that had Parkinson's and tremors and seizures, and watching them improve by by having their
Yeah.
cannabis. So it provides a balance to the body, something that is needed,
Yeah.
something that is needed. So it's like, like if you have a diabetic. Okay. So if you have a diabetic and your sugar's high, what do you need? You need insulin. So you need insulin to bring yourself down to balance. Okay. So it's something that you would need, something. So, and insulin is made endogenously, but when your body's compromised, it's hard to get that into the cell. So then you would need it, through a shot. Well, same thing with the endocannabinoid system. If it's not operating at its best, it needs to be provided what it needs so it can work. So just, tremors, Parkinson's, immune system, just think of people that have a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's your peripheral nervous system. So that's another receptor that would be benefited from having some cannabis. So in especially if we're looking at like a diabetic neuropathy, someone who has really horrible pain in their feet, if they can put on some CBD cream onto their feet, it helps the pain tremendously.
Wow.
And now you can buy those products over the counter. They're found. You could buy them at Myers. Okay, you could buy them at Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't need a prescription to have that here. So that's something that's wonderful that it's good for that.
I back in the day I used to work at a dispensary, so that's the first time I ever learned about how one
Mm-hmm.
of the drugs that they give autistic is a
Mm-hmm.
synthetic version of cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a mother come in and she was getting CBD products, and she
Right.
then explained how it's helping her daughter
Mm-hmm.
and how the synthetic version. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, I had a lady come in who had neuropathy, a lot of pain, and we sold, somehow they put CBD in a capsule form.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just taking it like a daily
Mm-hmm.
capsule.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried it. And then a month later, she comes back and she's like, so I ran out of the stuff and I'm on day 2 without it and my pain's back. So that's why I'm back here getting it. So she's like, it really is helping.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy to, yeah, see how it used to have this bias, right? Like your
Right.
generation.
Right.
Like I know some people your generation still refer to it as dope. And then now
Yeah.
it's helping people
Oh,
tremendously.
yeah, yeah, it is. And in the state of Michigan, when I was going through my certified master herbalist program, maybe the numbers are a little bit different now, but every household, if you own your household, you can grow in your own garden 9 cannabis plants and use it for your own
Yeah.
family's use. You can make your own tinctures with it. You just can't sell it to other people. But you can have that in your own garden, and
Yeah.
it's legal as long
Yeah.
as you own your own home. So I think the number went up to 12 now, but don't quote me on that. But several years ago, it was 9. You could have 9 plants.
And I
So,
think it goes up if they get a caregiver license. I think that the number can go up to like, I might be wrong, but last I knew, I thought it was like 72.
holy
Yeah.
moly, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. So it's good. So you can have it. You can make your own tinctures,
Mm-hmm.
and you can take care of your own family with that. So
Mm-hmm.
just think about that. You can, yeah, as long as you don't sell it to other people, it's just for home use. So and that's wonderful about the state of Michigan that they're recognizing there's a lot of health benefits, a lot of
Yes.
anti-inflammatory, pain control. Uh, um, uh, Neurologic benefits, mood benefits. So it's very helpful in that way. So you get it in the natural form, and it's nice because then you know what's in it if you're growing it yourself in your own
Yes.
garden for your own family's
Yes.
use. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because I know from working inside in the cannabis
Mm-hmm.
industry that Michigan is very strict for them to pass the testing for their
Mm.
product.
Okay.
So they're using all sorts of stuff to be able to pass these tests, which as a naturopathic doctor, you probably wouldn't want on your product, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And then I also learned that they're putting it in something that kind of acts like a microwave, where,
Oh.
yes, in order for it to pass testing.
Oh,
So,
so then it probably destroys a lot of its beneficial
yeah.
properties.
Because I mean, the thing
Yeah,
about
yeah,
microwaves do
I
to,
know you got
yeah,
if you're having a store, you have to follow the law and you have to, I mean,
right.
yeah, so it's not a perfect product at the end, like what you can grow in your own
Yeah.
garden, but it still has some health
Mm-hmm.
benefits, some left,
Yeah.
but and that's good for a lot of people. So it's within reach. So
Yeah.
holistic health is within reach. And I don't think a lot of people know that about they could grow it in their own garden. So if you're a gardener, have a little cannabis patch.
Yeah. Yeah. We had so
Yeah.
many people that came in that would
Hmm.
like tell me how they don't have health insurance and
Hmm.
that cannabis is like the main thing that they use because they can't afford health
Hmm.
insurance, so they can't
Hmm.
afford anything.
Hmm.
And it just really puts it into perspective of
Hmm.
how many people are suffering, how many people can't afford proper health care,
Hmm.
and how much cannabis really does help.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And a lot of people, I mean, we're not even taught the endocannabinoid system in health classes, right? It's a
Right.
whole
They
system. I
just
mean,
deny its
I mean,
existence.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
you got your respiratory system. We learn about that. We learn about your central nervous system, your digestive system. Your kidneys, your bladder. Like we learn about all of that. We learn about your skin, but
Yes.
but the endocannabinoid system, it overlies your whole body. It's another system.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look it up online, go ahead and do a search. Um, there's a wonderful Harvard physician who wrote a great article about the endocannabinoid system and how it overlies your entire body and how beneficial and important it is to keep this healthy.
Yeah.
So go ahead and look it up. It's now, and the NIH has written articles about it, and it's Mayo Clinic has, Harvard has. So it's recognized in the medical community right now, but I don't know why it's not being taught in health classes because I mean, I don't know why it's still controversial anymore.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be controversial
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
I'm seeing,
Hmm.
well, I'll get, my mother will send me texts and it'll be like Apple News articles, right? And it'll talk
Hmm.
about how cannabis is so bad, it's
Hmm.
killing brain cells.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
I hear the complete opposite,
Yeah.
how it's actually
Yeah. Well,
rewiring.
it's so it in its like if you get a nice natural form that you're growing in your garden, that would probably be the best type you can get.
Yeah.
Now, I know I have a friend whose son went away to college. This was several years ago and never used drugs before, and he was smoking a lot of weed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the concentration and the purity of what's out there on the street is so much higher. It's like it's synthetically altered.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but he ended up having to be admitted into a psychiatric ward,
Wow.
and he still has delusions, psychosis.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so so you can't, so
Yeah.
that's why it's just better to grow it
Yeah.
yourself, and don't buy it. Have your own garden if you own your own home, and you'll have a nice small amount of a beneficial plant,
Yeah.
a beneficial herb for you. So that's so you got to be careful with that, you know.
So I
So it
wonder.
does cause psychosis, you
Yeah.
know, if you're getting it on the street, because who knows what else is in there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
also makes me think of like they're breeding these plants, these cannabis strains, right?
Mm.
They'll breed a certain
Hmm.
strain with another
Right.
to make it more intense,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, that's not good.
I wonder if that's kind of playing a role in because it's
Oh,
not organic in that sense.
no, no, it's genetically
Yeah.
modified.
And
Yeah, you got to find a good organic seed
yeah.
or plant,
Hmm.
and then work with it from there.
Yeah, it makes me think about, I don't know if you've learned about how if you are planting seeds, right? If you put the seed in your saliva and then you plant it, that plant is going to
Grow with
grow.
your DNA.
Yeah, so it's going to be more like work for
Oh,
you. So it's similar to
what a
how
wonderful.
if
You
a,
know what? I hadn't thought about that, but
yeah,
yeah, what a great thing to do. You just mix it with your own
yeah,
DNA.
and then plant it.
That sounds great.
Yeah. You know how
Yeah,
when mothers are breastfeeding,
yeah.
the baby's saliva communicates back to the mother
Mhm.
what it needs. So the mother's breast will concoct
Mm,
perfect, which I learned that it'll even concoct more endocannabinoids to send in the breast milk. Like, let's
mm.
say the baby had fallen
Yeah.
or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it kind of plays a role
Oh,
of
that's wonderful.
how Mother Nature does that, just like
Yeah.
our bodies do.
That makes me think of how plants communicate with each other from the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like trees, like if they're lacking a certain mineral, you know, from
Mm-hmm.
across a field, another tree will give it up, and there's a whole system underground, and it takes it on over
That's so
and gives it to
cool.
the tree, and they take. So that makes me think of that, and
Yeah.
how wonderful. Just we're just all connected, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I love that. So, but yeah, if people can talk a little more about the endocannabinoid system and recognize it and acknowledge it, and that it has to be, you know, cared for, just like any other system of your body. Like you
Mm-hmm.
need good skin integrity. It's your largest organ of your body, and if you don't have good skin integrity, all kinds of microbes and bacteria
Mm-hmm.
and things can get in to make your body sick. You got to protect it,
Yeah.
protective mechanism. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on to the
Thank you so
podcast
much. I
today.
love being here. Thank you for
Yes.
having me. It was a great talk, and I didn't think I could talk this whole time.
That's always ends up happening. Ends
Yeah,
up
but boy,
being.
I talked way over the limits. So thank you for having
Yeah,
me, and
absolutely.
yeah, a lot of good discussion.